Alrighty. Just because it's requested a lot. People keep asking me, some people are saying, why are you doing news on the Zim? Other people are saying, why don't you do more news on the Zim? So you know what? If people are interested in it, so let's just get the news out. The thing I find interesting about the Zimbabwe currency, not so much the currency as much as just Zimbabwe and Africa in general, that is, there's a lot of similarities between Iraq and Africa in a sense of all the corruption, and they have these super corrupt people that control their governments, and both those nations have some of the most richest natural resources out there. It's just unbelievable. I mean, in Africa, they have diamonds, gold, you name it. It is out there. But man, they can't get their you know what together to save their lives. It just blows my mind some of the things I read. How quickly they go through politicians, how quickly you can see people get killed. I mean, it's crazy to read the news sometimes going on in Zimbabwe, okay? So having said that, look, as usual, I want to remind everybody that we have a Facebook group that has the same name as the YouTube channel, and that is Pimpy's Investment Chat. I encourage you all to come here and check it out. It's one of the fastest growing groups. I can tell you that on Facebook. There's been a lot of people that's joined over these last several months here. So there is a link in the description. I encourage you to follow it. It'll take you to this group right here, and you can just come on in. It's free 99, and there's all kinds of information in here on the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, the Zim dollar, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, you name it, it is on here. So why not give it a whirl and see what you think. Also, there's a link because a lot of people have been asking me about the cryptocurrencies. There's a link that'll take you to where you could buy cryptocurrencies just for following the link. You get 10 free dollars. I just did a video on how you can get up to 160 free dollars. So inside that link, so there's free cryptocurrencies. If you haven't done it yet, when you sign in, scroll down to where it says earn coins. Then you could earn up to over about 160 bucks. So heck, it's probably worth it just to join and get the free coins at least and cash them out. All right. Okay, let's get started with Zimbabwe. All right, here's the thing. Okay, so this article here, Zimbabwe. I was reading this and I thought it was interesting because they start to go, they make the moves in the right direction, like Iraq, and then all of a sudden they go back in the wrong direction. So the annual inflation rate that soared over 500% in February. Okay. The country's statistical agency said it releases the first consumer's price data since June of last year. The year-on-year inflation rate for the month of February, as measured by the all-item CPI Consumer Price Index, stood at 540.16%. The Zimbabwe National Statistic Agency tweeted. That is ridiculous. So when inflation gets really high, that's why you see these huge dollars, like these 1 trillion Zimbabwe dollars. You know what I mean? That's what they try to do to curve that. So the local currency has fallen from its parity against the US dollar a year ago to around 18 Zimbabwean dollars per greenback, although on the black market rate, you could get over 30. So, heck, man, if you live close to the country, I guess it'd be smart just to run in there and sell your US dollars, pick up a large amount of Zim dollars, then come over on our side and then cash them in. This is why they call it the black market. Obviously, it's illegal to do so. But, people keep going, hey, if there's a rate in one place, that's one thing, and a rate in another. Well, then apparently if you figure it out and you run back and forth, there's a risk. I don't advise it. You know what I mean? It's illegal in a lot of countries to do that. But having said that anyway, so Zimbabwe's inflation is starting to head back up. I just did a video not that long ago showing you that they have repegged themselves to the US dollar. Okay, this is their way of trying to curve this inflation from getting out of hand. Okay. Also, they did a U-turn from hating cryptocurrencies to now wanting to use them as like everybody else. They are using the coronavirus as an excuse to go into a cashless society. Although I do not believe there is any evidence out there, any scientific evidence out there that proves that anybody anywhere has caught the coronavirus due to currency handling or even coins for that matter. Okay, so this bank, it had, in 2018, it had banned the use of cryptocurrencies, but is now changed its mind. And so again, I encourage people to at least look at cryptocurrencies. I don't believe they are the currency of the future. Not 100%, I should say. There might be a combination of some gold backed fiat currencies along with some cryptocurrencies. I don't trust cryptocurrencies, but I'm also smart enough to know that there is a window of opportunity. That's why I monitor it very closely, and just to make sure that, I watch for some signs that I'm looking for. I watch for them. I'm anticipating them going up, and then, but not for long. Okay, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, it looks like the people in Zimbabwe, the government has made a U-turn on it, as usual. For all these articles, I will leave the links to these articles in the description so you could come here and check them out. But anyways, it looks like the government has made a U-turn on whether or not people can use cryptocurrencies. The thing about cryptocurrencies that I don't like, that I would not trust any government for that matter, is to be honest about the amount of cryptocurrencies they've created. They might tell you that they've only created 1 trillion, when actuality they probably created 1 quadrillion. There's just no way to monitor it. So nonetheless, looks like the RBZ and U-turn over ban of cryptocurrency payments. So cryptocurrencies are starting to be used. Actually, I did an article not too long ago where I think it said like 90 or over 90% of the people already use a form of digital banking. Okay, so this kind of stuff affects the local currency. That's the Zimbabwe dollar. So if inflation's too high, then it just really kills the value of its local currency. The same thing, if people start veering away from local currencies, it will have an effect on it. Just, you think, supply and demand. So if people don't want a currency, that means there's an ample amount of supply. Therefore, the currency doesn't get a lot of value to it. All right, especially with your government allowing now and encouraging people to switch over to cryptocurrencies. So over here, look at this. We talked about this before. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has lifted its ban on the use of foreign currency in carrying out domestic transactions, saying this was to facilitate ease of transacting during the current coronavirus period. So it sounds to me like they're going to allow this to happen for a short period of time. We'll see. Again, anytime any country, not just Zimbabwe, but even in Iraq, they had a dual currency system. That's not very good for their local currency. You can see down here that so according to the bank, will allow depositors of foreign currency to use their bank balances to transact directly through digital means without having to go to the bank to exchange their funds using interbank rates. Okay, so this includes producers of gold, tobacco, cotton, recipients of diaspora or remittance. Okay, so the RBZ also suspended the managing float rate system, which was incepted by the finance minister. So again, for those you don't know what a floating rate is, or this one's a managed floating rate, otherwise known as the dirty float. Okay, so it's gives the appearance or allows the market to the exchange rate to flow with the market, but if it needed to, the powers that be could go in and change the rate whenever they needed to. So basically, that's how you get the managing instead of a free floating. Okay, so a dirty float. They manage the rate based on how the economy is doing. So again, if inflation is as high as it is, and they're encouraging people to go to digital banking, and they're now allowing foreign currencies into the country in Zimbabwe, all these are negative for the Zim dollar, all right? All of these affect the value of the Zim dollar. This is not encouraging, but again, I think it's interesting that they say in one of these articles, it says that they're reintroducing their local currency. I told you guys, look, if you have whatever the older currency is, just hold on to it. You never know. There might come a time where they'll bring them out again, and you'll be able to use that currency for one reason or another. I did show everybody there was an article by our United States Treasury Department saying that the Zim dollars from 2008 and older were no longer any good, but we'll see, okay? Anyways, I just wanted to share this news. All of this is not positive for the Zim dollar. All right, we need them to use their currency, get away from foreign currencies, get away from digital banking, start doing what they need to do to build up their economy and to go ahead and strengthen their dollar. All right. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. All right. You guys have a good one.